Hey guys, I'm sorry I've not been active lately. I just wanted to make a video because there's something that I'd like to discuss, which is about cosplay guests. First of all, being invited by a convention is a great deal for a cosplayer, especially the first times. We put so much time and effort and money in something that we don't necessarily expect to give us the chance to be invited by a convention. So as soon as this happens, we just feel thrilled. It's a great feeling because it's like all of this passion paid off somehow. It's like I actually did something good. I read this article by Cosplay, I love her, called The Value of Cosplay Guests. It's something that actually helped me deciding to make this video, and I'm probably gonna link it too so you can all have a good read. I just want to talk very calmly about this topic, and I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I just don't think it's necessary. I just want to tell you my experience and use it to open a general discussion that hopefully everyone can agree on. It happened a few times that people on my page, even friends, just casually ask me, how come you've never been a cosplay guest? Well, actually I have been invited more than once and even abroad. Sometimes things just didn't work. But sometimes things were supposed to go well, but there have been problems during the organization, and this is what I'd like to point out in this video. So I was invited by this con, and at first it was all about being excited and grateful and wanting to do your best. But as soon as we started planning the hotel, the flight, and a problem popped out, which was about money. Everything was planned perfectly, but the con started to wonder what they were supposed to pay for. And I was like, sorry, I don't think I can afford this by myself. It was like, I'm trying to be as polite as possible to explain that I'm a student, that I don't have a job yet, but honestly, I just thought it was obvious that the basic expenses would have been covered by the convention. We're not all the same. Every cosplayer has a different life and situation. Like I said, I'm a student, but some cosplayers have a job, a house, a family. And in our unique everyday life, we all invested extra time, money, and effort in what we like. When I started explaining this to them, they started negotiating, which was getting frustrating. I was kind of confused because at first it looked like the only solution was for me to pay for my own expenses. But as soon as I started to say I couldn't, they were like, okay, so how about we help you with 30 euros? And I was like, well, thank you, but it's not enough because it's still a lot to pay, and I'm sorry for making this so difficult. And after a while, the offer just was raised to, okay, so how about we pay for 3 nights and you pay for the other 2? You know, I also offered to pay for the food myself because I wanted to be as helpful as possible, but I guess I shouldn't have at this point. I think it's something that cosplayers, especially if they're new to this whole guest invitation thing, feel like doing. We just don't want to feel like we're being too needy or a burden for the con organizers. We just want to be available because we, in the end, are just very, very grateful for the offer, and we just want to have a great new experience. Unfortunately, I feel like sometimes con organizers just take advantage of this whole I just care about the experience thing and literally take for granted that we are willing to do so many things. I'm gonna have to pack tons of props that I need to bring with me. I'm gonna wake up early to go to the airport. I'm gonna fly to their place, and I'm gonna get ready and do everything respecting their schedule, and I'm gonna be available for hours and hours during the convention. And in this case, I'm doing all of this for free. There are cosplayers who can rightfully afford to ask for appearance fees or are gonna earn money out of this in other ways, but this is not my case, and it's probably not the case for a good 50 to 60% of cosplayers. We are not expecting to stay in a luxurious suite. We're not expecting to have caviar for breakfast. We just need a flight, a decent hotel, and possibly food. And no, I'm sorry, exposure is not gonna pay for this. I don't think all this is something too pretentious to ask for. I don't think I'm sounding like a brat. I just think that it's in the basics of inviting someone as a guest to your place. You're asking for my presence, and I'm only asking for my basic expenses to be covered. So, yeah, I hope I made my point clear and that you all agree with me. I just feel like this kind of situations are going on way too often than we believe, you know? And not just with cosplayers, but with artists in general. It happened to me, but this was the kind of story that I've already heard in the past. Maybe we just don't talk about it publicly because we feel like, it just didn't work out, so why should we make such a big fuss about it? But I think it's important to make a statement at this point. Of course, I'm not trying to make it sound like all con organizers are evil and mean, and I also hope I didn't scare them away from inviting me in the future. The actual matter is not even about money. We're actually talking about respect for each other's work and transparency. Don't take my value for granted because I'm not taking your offer for granted at all. Thank you.